Together. So Peter's vision brought him to Cornelius, the centurion, who we saw was a great man. He was a military man who was in charge of very many people. And we saw his household that was as devout as he was. And then Peter was summoned to Caesarea, only to realize that the vision that he had seen was for him to speak and proclaim the gospel to the Gentiles. Gentiles who were not supposed to receive the gospel according to their wisdom, according to the law at the time. So as part of the recap, we saw how bad this relationship between the Gentiles and the Jews were. It's common for born a slave. I was not born a Gentile, or I was not born a woman. You can imagine. It was also part of the Jewish religion back in the day that they were vowing never to help Gentiles under any circumstances. How bad this was. How bad this relationship was. How bad it was for them to see, for them to be together. And that's why we saw that it was a very big deal when Peter stayed in the house of a Gentile and dined with them. So to even enter the house of a Gentile made a Jew unclean before God. That was the law that was being abolished. If a Jew married a Gentile, the Jewish community would perform a burial ceremony for him. What a way to say that you're dead to us. That's how bad this relationship was. So I want you to see the intensity of this negativity and this bad blood between the Jews and the Gentiles, so that we can be able to understand the love that Jesus Christ is bringing onto the table. the consideration that God is making to save the Gentiles. So God only sees the heart. He does not see economic statuses. He does not see ethnicity. He does not see skin color. And as we go through the remaining part of Acts chapter 10, I want you to have that in mind. I want you to have that in mind. I also want you to try and recalibrate what has been going through your mind about who are prayerful, who are not prayerful, who can receive the gospel, who gets saved, who doesn't get saved, which religion gets saved, which is the way to eternity. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. We are going to see that today. So I'll be reading now. Whatever we'll be studying today is typically Peter's sermon. It's typically Peter's sermon. This is what Peter preached to the Gentiles inside Cornelius' house. And the sermon today, our sermon today will be salvation by faith. Salvation by faith. That's the topic of our sermon today. So in this we'll see the first section where God shows no partiality. We'll read verse 34 and verse 35. I'll be reading from the New King James Version. The preaching to Cornelius' household. Then Peter opened his mouth and said, "In truth, I perceive that God shows no partiality. But in every nation, whoever fears him and works righteousness is accepted." The Gentiles received from